Hello, good morning to everyone. Welcome to this meeting, thank you, to the Charter signing ceremony. I would like to welcome in particular all of you, of course, but most especially those who come from far away and those who are also following us via webcast. I would also like to take advantage of my position as chair to thank very much Bruce Rock from ADECO, who is the chair of the network, as well as Anne-Sophie Béraud, who's from Accor Hotels and is the vice chair of the network on global business and disability. For their very hard work and the leadership that they have shown thus far. This is the first time that the global annual meeting of the network takes place, and it's really extremely encouraging to see that a growing number of members and businesses are indeed joining the network. Definitely those who are joining are showing the way to other businesses with regard to how to deal with the discrimination facing people with disabilities and how to promote inclusion policies within the workplace. I would now, before giving the floor to our Director General, who will give a few initial remarks, and again I would like to thank him because once again he has made himself available in order to be with us today. I may explain very briefly how this signing ceremony will occur. So after a few remarks by the Director General, we will have the signature of the charter by the three companies, Cap Gemini, Savola Group, and Legrand. And each signature will also include a picture with the Director General. The signature will take place on the table just in front of us. Once the signing is over, the three representatives from the three companies will have an opportunity to say a few remarks. Later, there will be also remarks from the representatives of two national and one regional network that have also recently joined the network and who are actually sitting on my right. Last but not least, we will have the photo of the whole group. There will be over 35 people, so it will be quite, an operation, and all of us will have to sit, on the podium, to stand on the podium or behind here, in order to fit the picture. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to the Director General, Guy Ryder.
Well, thank you very much, Manuela, Bruce, and Sophie, ladies and gentlemen. Let me, in my turn, add my words of warm welcome to all of you at this annual meeting of the ILO Global Business and Disability Network. And I really am very, very pleased to be with you this morning and to share in a part of the work that you're going to be doing together. I have to say, looking around the room, I can see quite a few familiar faces, and that's always a pleasure. But it's equally encouraging to see how our network is continuing to grow, both with new global companies coming to it, and new national business and disability networks who make up our network, along with the NGOs with whom we work. So, a very special welcome to Capgemini, to Legrand, and to the Savola Group, and to our networks, our new networks from Bangladesh and from Mexico. and I should give a mention also to the regional network, which is hosted by the Organización Iberoamericana de Seguridad Social. Ladies and gentlemen, the ILO looks forward to continue to work with you, and we, in our turn, expect to be inspired and informed by the work that you do to further improve our own policies and practices in this field. Your companies have, I believe, chosen to become members of the Global Business and Disability Network because you know very well that including people with disabilities in the workplace is not only the right thing to do, and it certainly is, but it is, from a business perspective, also the smart thing to do. The business case for diversity has, I think, been increasingly well established by research and recognized in recent years. And the benefits of diverse workplaces include increased talent pool and employee satisfaction, strengthened customer orientation, and improved innovation and creativity, as well as enhanced company image. And with your support, we need to ensure that persons with disabilities are seen as a key element in diversity initiatives themselves. And as the ILO, we have tools for employers to give guidance on how to include people with disabilities in this right and smart way. Tools that have been developed either in the framework of this Global Business and Disability Network or with support from it. The examples and practices that the members of the network offer are extraordinarily valuable and can serve as inspiration to other companies, and I think this interaction is part of the value of what we do. The disability inclusive practices of the members of the network do cut across very many business areas, and I think that looking at today's program, it seems to me particularly relevant with its focus on digital accessibility, inclusive branding and marketing, and addressing the skills gap that companies and persons with disabilities face, in particular in developing countries. And these important topics are indeed linked very closely to some of the major initiatives that the ILO is itself undertaking in separate but related areas. And I can give the example of the Global Initiative on Decent Jobs for Youth, which puts emphasis on digital skills for young people so that they are well equipped for the labour market of the future, and to ensure that young women and men with disabilities are not left behind when it comes to the acquisition of digital skills. Can I just mention as well that the ILO has just begun the work of its Global Commission on the Future of Work. It met over the weekend, and I can mention that the boss of ADECO was amongst our membership over the weekend. And ADECO, of course, chairs our network. I think it's important that we link the work that we're doing to this wider reflection that the ILO is having in respect to the future of work, and to say quite simply that it is not acceptable, it's not reasonable to imagine a future of work in which people with disabilities are not a full part. We're inspired in that thought as well by the global agenda for development set by the United Nations, the so-called 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, which references disability and people living with disabilities from memory in 4 areas. In respect to access to education, in respect to habitat and transport access, in respect to data, we still lack data around disabilities in many areas, but in particular as well, and that's perhaps at the core of the work that we're doing together, in respect to the Sustainable Development Goal, which references full employment and decent work for all, where access to decent work for people with disabilities is referenced in the most explicit way. So I think the work that you're doing here addresses these challenges extremely directly, but I'm also very anxious that the work you do here links into, informs, and draws sustenance as well from other parts of the ILO's global agenda for decent work. So thank you very much, Manuela, Bruce, and Sophie, ladies and gentlemen. Again, a particular warm welcome to our newcomers in this growing family, and I look forward to taking part in the signing ceremony which is coming up next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DG, for these inspiring words. Now we start with the signing of the charter. I will call the enterprises in the following order: Capgemini, Savola Group, and Legrand. In the case of Capgemini, the charter was already signed by the CEO, but the CEO couldn't be here today. Therefore, we are inviting Geraldine Plenier to indeed approach the table and to take the picture. I now invite Tariq Ismail, the Executive Director of Corporate Affairs, Sustainability and Board Secretary of the Savola Group. DG, you're invited to join us in the podium. Now it's the time for the representative of the three companies that have signed the charter today to make a few remarks, and I will revert the order this time, and I will start by giving the floor to Mr. Schnepp.
Well, Mr. Director General, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Well, I'm glad to see that French companies are well represented, on this in this room, and maybe this is due to the fact that the French legislation started back in 1987, so that's 30 years ago, and Legrand actually started 10 years before, in the mid to late 70s, to include disabled workers in its factories in France. And now we have throughout 20 countries workshops where we are having adapted access and working conditions to disability. And we were having a conversation just before starting this official ceremony saying that Industry 4.0 is opening a new space for improving and increasing this initiative. And it's interesting to see that your theme of today is about digital, and clearly cobots, robots, AGV, exoskeletons is a way for industrial companies to significantly increase their capability to host disabled workers in factories. We are having also a conversation about the other aspect of disability, which is that for many of companies represented here, it's also a way to develop products and solutions to help people live better when they have disability. And this is the case of Legrand, where we are developing solutions, products and solutions for assisted living. I mean, the Director General was talking of habitat, very much the case. So lighting path, extractable plugs, interphones are solutions which help people stay safely at home, and which is becoming the core activity of one of the core activity of Legrand. So we're happy to join the network and try to participate and contribute as much as we can to learn from the experience of other members, but of course also to share the experience that we have in those 20 countries where we have made these initiatives. So thank you for accepting us as a new member, and we are glad and impatient to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and look forward towards cooperation. Mr. Ismail.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to be the first Saudi company to join efforts with this esteemed organization. It's the journey to make the workplace more inclusive and accessible to people with disability. The Savola has a leader in sustainability and corporate responsibility as a part of long-standing history of excellence in the industry, the national and regional private sector. And it's part of the philosophy of creating value based on values to all of its stakeholders. Savola developed Makin, Saudi Arabia, first private company-based accessibility program for people with disability since 2010, which has contributed to the employment of hundreds of people with disabilities in the country. Additionally, Savola was founding members in Qadirun Network, the first Saudi business disability network. This partner with ILO will only cement our efforts to empower people with disabilities and guide us through the continuous development and improving the journey, and hopefully we open doors for more companies from Saudi Arabia and the region on the Middle East to join the hope of eliminating the barriers of integrating the inclusions. Thank you.
Ms. Plenier.
Mr. Ryder, I'm really proud to be there today with you to represent Capgemini Group. As maybe you know, Capgemini is a French company in IT and digital, founded there are now 50 years. Some figure regarding Capgemini. So now we are 200,000 worldwide. We are based in 40 countries with 100,000 colleagues in India. And I know that for you, maybe India is a really important country. That's why I put this point. So by joining the Global Business and Disability Network and signing the charter, it's really a new step for our company in our commitment regarding diversity and more especially disability. And as Paul Hermelin, our CEO, said in the quote, At Capgemini, we firmly believe that people with disability bring great value in a specific perspective to our business. So we really hope we will have the opportunity in joining the network to share best practice with other companies, not only in France, but globally. And we will have the opportunity to progress in our inclusion and disability initiative. And I could say that really all my colleagues, and especially my colleague in India, are really impatient to be part of the global business and disability network. And as a responsible company, it's really an honor for us to be there today with you. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I mean, there is this emphasis on collaborative approaches rather than comparative advantages among the different businesses. So this is really quite unprecedented, I would say. It's now the turn of the national and regional business networks that are joining the global network. And I would start by giving the floor to the co-chair of the executive committee of the Business and Disability Network of Bangladesh, Mr. Mureza Rafi Khan.
Director General of ILO, Mr. Guy Ryder, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. I would like to begin by congratulating all the companies that have signed the Charter today. You serve as inspiration to many companies globally. As I represent the Bangladesh Business and Disability Network, I would like to propose to all companies that are members of ILO's global network that you urge your subsidiaries, branch offices, and supply chain partners across the world to address disability inclusion at a local level. As fate would have it, I am pleased to update you that I received confirmation this morning that Telenor's local subsidiary in Bangladesh has joined our network. And of course, Telenor is a network of the ILO's global network. So this is definitely a sign of ILO's global network at work. While Bangladesh is still in the early stages of systematic disability inclusion, however, I can say in unequivocal terms that commitments from multinational companies who source products made in Bangladesh has had a significant impact on disability inclusion and workforce diversity. The expectation set in multinational boardrooms around the world certainly induces action from the employers of Bangladesh. Our network was successfully launched by Her Excellency Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, alongside Director General of ILO, Mr. Guy Ryder, and President of Bangladesh Employers Federation, Mr. Salahuddin Qasim Khan, at the Dhaka Summit on Skills in December 2016. And since our launch, we have been able to attract 32 members from diverse sectors, including pharmaceuticals, textiles, banking, FMCG, and education, amongst others. And our members collectively employ over 100,000 people. And the architecture of our network is such that it also includes NGOs and disabled people's organizations to help us from the supply side, as we believe only by linking both the demand and supply side of the equation can real change be achieved. And to conclude, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to the ILO for supporting and guiding the Bangladesh network at its early stage, and we look forward to your continued assistance as the network grows and evolves. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your words and also for highlighting the importance of bringing on board the associations of people with disabilities to these efforts. I would like now to give the floor to Mr. José Gerardo Cantú González, who's the chairman of the board of the Movimiento Congruencia.
Good morning. Distinguished guests, fellow members of the International Labour Organization Global Business and Disability Network, ladies and gentlemen. In name of Movimiento Congruencia, it is a great honor for me to be here representing Mexico's network of 97 companies that began promoting disability inclusion back in 2004. Movimiento Congruencia, in English, literally translates like congruent movement. I want to share with you that we are represented more than that. We go well beyond empathy and seek, promote, and facilitate equal job opportunities for people with disabilities. We are very proud of becoming part of the Global Business and Disability Network. We believe and are convinced that it is of great importance not only to sum the efforts of Mexico's movement or to join forces with other nations' companies, but to collaborate with the International Labour Organization vast network and move forward on the road to a more inclusive world. We are eager to share and learn from you through this valuable network. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And it's now the turn of Ms. Ana Moedano, responsible for social services of the Organización Iberoamericana de Seguridad Social, the Ibero-American Network of Inclusive Companies.
General Director of ILO, members of the Global Network, distinguished guests. It is for us a pleasure and an honor to become members of this network, and thank you very much for accepting us. The Ibero-American Network of Inclusive Companies is a network gathering Portuguese and Spanish-speaking countries in Latin America and Spain and Portugal, national networks and regional companies. This network is being promoted by the Ibero-American Social Security Organization as an international platform aimed at promoting social protection in the Ibero-American region. This regional network is one of the products of a larger initiative to promote employment of people with disabilities in the region, supported by public institutions, which makes this network an example of public and private cooperation. We are very pleased to become members of the Global Network, and we hope to contribute to the excellent work that has been done so far. Finally, I would like to congratulate the ILO for the hard work they have been doing and for all the efforts they are putting in promoting employment of people with disabilities all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now we are moving to the photo group, which will be squaring the circles, right? So the table will be moved away. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not in
Some
Ismail.
Some will join us in the podium and others in front. So I think the taller people should come to the podium.
We're going to have to stand up.
So we arrive at the end of the signing charter ceremony. We are moving into the more substantive discussion, and I would like to invite Adam Green to join the podium in order to begin with the thematic session.